Yo, what's up, Diamond family? It's your man VV, and welcome back to the VVS Academy. As you guys know, I'm here every week dropping off gems, teaching you to record and mix your music better. So if that sounds good to you, stick around, man. Look, I got a crazy video for you guys today. It's gonna be a little bit longer. I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly how to mix R&B vocals. This is for the beginners out there. If you haven't really done a lot in Pro Tools or you're not that well versed in R&B vocals, this is about to take you from start to finish. All right, I'm not even gonna overtalk it. We're gonna jump into the track. But look, man, if you're still struggling to get your vocals to sit inside the beat and balance themselves out perfectly every single time, you gotta check out my free course down below. It's gonna completely change the game for you, teach you my simple technique for balancing out your vocals and your beat perfectly every single time. All right, it's completely free. It takes like 15 minutes, so check that out down below. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into the track. I'm gonna go ahead and play it back. Let's find a spot. I'll play the track back now and then we'll dive into mixing it. Let's get it.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. I'll fly you out to the moon if you're loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Ain't nothing that we can't do if you're loving me, babe.
All right, bet. So first thing I'm gonna do, let's get these backgrounds out of here. If you want to see a video for how we should actually mix these backgrounds, add the effects, make it sound lush and full and big, drop me a comment down below and I'll make the video. Right now, we're just gonna focus on the lead vocals. So let's go ahead and take these backgrounds out. And we're gonna do some kind of tidying up, some cleanup stuff first. So the first thing I notice is that the vocal really drops right here. He's doing it because he wants to make it sound a little bit softer, a little bit more sincere, which his tone is doing that, so we don't really need the drop in volume. So I'm gonna boost this section so it matches the rest of the volume a little bit. Maybe like 3 dB or so, nothing crazy, but let's hear it.
Fly you out to the moon if you're loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Ain't nothing that.
Yeah, so that's just making the entire verse just sound a little bit more consistent, just flow a little bit better, a little bit more smooth. You know what I mean? It just makes the whole verse just fit a little bit more smoothly with the rest of the track. So that's what we want to do there. This is before we start adding any effects like compression or anything like that. So what I also want to do, I'm going to leave his auto tune here. What I'm going to do is bypass our effects bus, and that's why you can actually still hear these backgrounds going, is because you can hear the effects bus ringing. I want to take the effects bus off and just focus on working on the vocal dry. So if you're using any of my templates, like my free template, my paid template like this one, you're going to have a lot of these effects and everything already dialed in for you. All of the routing is going to be done for you. So when you record your vocal well, it's already going to sound really, really good. But when you need to elevate that and get it to that professional level, like that finished sound, this is what we need to do. So let's start finishing this vocal. First thing I'm going to do is actually grab the VMR and grab a compressor to tighten this vocal up a little bit more. So we've done some what I call like cheater compression, or like the poor man's compression, where you actually just go in and turn up specific phrases and sections of the track. But what we're going to do now is actually use a compressor to control the vocal more. So we got ahead of ourselves and we did some of the compression work beforehand using just using, you know, the audio, just adjusting the volume. And now we're going to actually use the tool to do the same thing. And that's going to allow this compressor to not have to work as hard as it would if we hadn't done this. So let's go ahead and dial in some compression first.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe.
And you can definitely hear the difference now that there's no effects on the vocal. It just sounds a little more dull. Let's hear it without the effects.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. I'll fly you out to the moon.
I think a lot of this is already sounding good. I want to turn this little bit, this little phrase up as well. All right, now let's go ahead and dial in our compression. But you can hear when the effects are gone, it just sounds a little bit drier. It just sounds a little bit more boring, less exciting. It still sounds good, but it doesn't have the same impact and punch and energy as it did before. So we'll go back to our compressor. I'm using the Blue 1176. I think this has a really great sound for rap vocals in particular, but this vocal, his voice is a little more like he's reaching, right? He's putting everything into it. He's full voicing it, but you can hear his voice, like the texture of his voice, and I want to accentuate that with this compressor. And I really want you guys to start thinking about those kinds of things when you choose which tools to use on your vocals. So let's get it.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, either you ain't
And you'll notice with this compressor, it's really going to react a lot more dramatically to like the very first things he's saying, the loudest things, and then you'll see it kind of fall back, and it might, you know, bump up again, but it's not going to be as dramatic. But when he hits that first note like that, either you like, it's very loud and you see the compressor move. This is how much it's turning it down. The GR stands for gain reduction. So this is how much it's turning that signal down so that it can match the volume of the rest of the words he's saying. Watch again.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, or either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe.
Cool. So I think this is actually a little bit too much compression. And what I mean by that is the needle is going too far over. It doesn't have enough time to recover before the next word comes in. So if the needle is still falling back, it's still reducing the gain. And so some words that don't really need to be compressed are being compressed. So in order to fix that, what I'm going to do actually is grab a faster compressor first. So let's grab this distressor. The 1176 is a very fast compressor, but this distressor is even faster. So we can make the release super duper fast. And then what I'll also do is make the attack super fast. And what we're going to do with this compressor is only try to knock down like 3 or 4 dB. Remember, we were getting 5, 7, maybe almost up to 10. I didn't really pay that close of attention, but we were definitely getting 7 dB of gain reduction. We want to get less with this compressor. So let's try and dial it in.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, or either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. I'll fly you up.
Cool. And I think what that's doing is a great job of controlling those initial super loud things that really jump out at the vocal. So now let's follow it up with a second compressor and kind of smooth it out a little bit more.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, or either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, or either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe.
And so I like to follow up this kind of medium speed because 1176 is a fast compressor. I'm just calling it medium speed because we have an even faster compressor ahead of it. But I like to follow this up with something slower. And for that, I'm just going to grab the SSL compressor right here. And I'm going to leave it. If you don't choose this fast attack button, it's a fairly slow and kind of gluey compressor. So let's see if we can dial in some slow compression to kind of hold everything together in this vocal.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, or either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. I'll fly you up.
And so once we've got these 3 compressors engaged, I think we've got a much more controlled vocal. Let's bring our effects back and see how this sounds just kind of at the controlling phase of this vocal.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Either you is, or either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe. I'll fly you up to the moon if you're loving me, babe, loving me, babe. Ain't nothing that we can't do if you're loving me, babe, loving me, babe, babe.
And really, man, if you start to control your vocals like this, it's so much easier to do the rest of the mixing of the vocal. So this is part 1, man. We've got a lot of the control and the compression out of the way. If you're ready for part 2, just drop me a diamond down below and I'll drop it. We'll talk all about EQing these R&B vocals and getting them to sit and sound perfect in industry quality. Look, man, these are the tips I'm giving you guys week in and week out. If you need a little bit more help, drop me a line down below. My name is Vivi and I'm here for you. Remember to stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace.
Either you is, either you ain't loving me, babe, loving me, babe.